Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Mobi. I'm Dr. Mobi, and today we have an excellent guest, and his name is Jake Pearson, and he's gonna give us his take on lifestyle. He's a fitness guru, and he believes in lifestyle. So let's welcome Jake. Jake, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Dr. Moby. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you, sir. So tell me about yourself. Tell me about how did you end up with lifestyle.
Yeah, great question. I guess it all dates back to when I was a kid. I had a lot of anxiety and I was a chronic overthinker. I was definitely shunned out of, I guess, social groups. I didn't feel like I fit in at all with any of the friendship groups I was in. And I was never comfortable in my own skin as that person. So growing up, it was really hard for me to figure out who I was. Like a lot of other young people, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And at 17 years old, I decided that I wanted to be a boxer and get in the ring and fight a few matches.
Mhm.
Very interesting thing, but I never started that at 17, but that was my drive and that got me into personal training as a fitness trainer. And then from there, it was about a year and a half that I kind of just felt my way around a few things. Wasn't that committed to exercise until I injured my back. So I had a significant back injury, which was a bulging disc. And for those who don't know, it's a cushion within your spinal cord that pushed out and it was pushing on a nerve. And I saw a few people that said that I was going to be stuffed, injured for the rest of my life. And I thought, I'm not letting that happen.
Mhm.
But I'd also, on the other side of the spectrum, mentally, that was pretty defeating. And
Mhm.
I had someone, tell me that I wasn't the ideal body image for a personal trainer. And I already had low self-esteem issues and confidence stemming from my childhood. So that just something just snapped. And I thought, well, it's time to change. And then I started working with a mentor and I started working on lifestyle habits,
Mhm.
making sure I was consistently exercising while rehabbing my back,
Mhm.
making sure I was making better food choices, but having a better relationship with food, not dieting,
Mhm.
understanding what I'm putting into my body and why, and just really building a routine, which eventually just became a lifestyle for me. So then from there, exercise and food just became something that was just ingrained in my day-to-day life. And to take it one step further, I really started to work hard on personal development because I thought, how can I improve my life outside my physical capabilities of my muscles and my gut? How can
Mhm.
I improve my mindset? And so then I started following lots of different entrepreneurs, reading different books, different podcasts, things that I started listening to. And I just grew and I grew and I grew and I gained a lot of self awareness and perspective. And now I'm just the epitome of lifestyle. If you can't sustain it, don't do it.
Oh, that's a beautiful, simple, powerful, and straight to the point. Is that first of all, a diet is by itself is not the message we want to convey. It is lifestyle. It's the rest of your life. It's not one day thing. It's gonna be a long term commitment, and for any long term commitment, you have to understand and take your slow speed, slow and steady is the game plan, not fast and furious, because that might get you somewhere but not where you want to go. So that is so true. So I'm so glad that you're so young and you learned this great habit now and you're focusing. I'm sure that's going to save you from getting sick and getting a lot of disease, which unfortunately are produced by food, and so those would be like food induced disease. Obesity, of course, is the biggest one, and then weight gain. So a lot of people ask me questions. Same thing is why lifestyle, and my answer to them is for your benefit, for your health. You want to keep enjoying your health. Okay, and if you don't have health, there's unfortunately not much can be bought with money. So that's so. Tell me a little bit about your routine. What you normally do every day.
Absolutely. So I have a couple of different routines because we're living in a different climate at the moment with
Mm.
the COVID-19. So I'll start with my routine before that, and then I can go into how I've adjusted my routine So you
Mm.
could sort of see the correlating shift.
Yeah.
So before COVID-19, my routine was Monday to Friday. I would wake up around 5:30 a.m. I would have breakfast, have a coffee, and I would go to the gym. I would train a few clients, and then I would train myself. I would do some sort of weightlifting or cardio. And I would only train about 3 to 4 times a week
Mhm.
because that's sustainable for me.
Mhm.
I've trained 5 times a week, 6 times a week before, and it burnt out. I lost all of my drive and I was getting sick and injured.
Mhm.
So back to sustainability and lifestyle. So from that, I would eat again after a workout.
Mhm.
That would be kind of my routine. I might
Mhm.
have like a sort of an afternoon nap,
Mhm.
just to depending on my sleep, because getting up really early and I sometimes have trouble falling asleep just because of the anxiety and the overthinking that comes on.
Mhm.
And then I would, go back for a second shift in the afternoon with my afternoon clients, eat around that, come home, eat, go back to sleep. But I would always have that little bit of free time during the day to learn. Okay. So in that maybe 4 to 6 hour period between my morning and afternoon, I might be listening to podcasts. I might be listening to some other entrepreneurs, really learning more or as much as I could, because we got to not stop learning. You got to keep learning. There is no sort of end goal for that. And
Mhm.
and then on the weekends, it's kind of the same,
Mhm.
except less exercise. I still eat the same good quality foods that I love. And
Mhm.
every Wednesday, I do what I call a food preparation day. So I go shopping and then I come home and I cut up all my veggies and I put them into different containers and I make these beautiful salads and I'll cook up all my other food and I'll pair up all my food. And I create these meals that are easily accessible, and I create the right environment for me to live a lifestyle. So I don't fill it with junk food. I fill it with fresh, clean produce and lean proteins, cook it all up, and every Wednesday that happens. And it's really easy for me. I've been doing that for the last 3 years, and I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life. So
So
it
that's beautiful. So you're saying you cook for a whole week Wednesday is, and then you kind of put that and then plan it for your whole week. So tell me what walk me through your breakfast, and so what kind of diet you take.
Yeah, absolutely. So my breakfast hasn't changed much because I've found what I liked. And once you find what you like, just stick with it.
Mhm.
It's an omelet. So I'll go like one egg and maybe a half a cup of egg whites.
Mhm.
And then I will have that with some sort of little salad that I make if I have time. Usually I like to have mushrooms, but if I can't have mushrooms or I have more time, then it's my salad. It's a bit weird. I like red grapes with
Mhm.
my omelet. Pumpkin, roasted pumpkin,
Mhm.
celery, red and yellow capsicum,
Mhm.
and then just a bit of mixed leafy greens, maybe even some red onion through that. And that salad actually forms a consistency for most of my meals. I really enjoy that. So not only in my breakfast, but I have that with a lot of things. So that's my breakfast. And a
Oh,
coffee. Oh, absolutely need a coffee.
okay, yeah, yeah. So tell me also about your lunch. Do you take anything in the lunch too?
Yeah, so my lunch is a little different. So I might go for something like the same sort of salad, grapes, celery, pumpkin, kale, red onion, whatever, all that, just a variety of color.
Mhm.
And then I might have something like a slow cooked chicken that I cooked up in the slow cooker, or I might have a turkey mince based meal. So I'll fry up turkey and cook that with some seasoning. I might even have some lamb chops or some sort of red meat or some tuna with olive oil. Like I'll have a different variety of proteins as well. And I just cycle them throughout the week.
So, what's your favorite dish? Do you normally cook or just?
Ooh, my favorite dish that I cook. That's a
Mm.
good question. I really like. So I have a barbecue Weber, which
Mm.
is like I cook the food on the coals, basically. That's fantastic. I think I've just started mastering that in the first COVID-19 lockdown. I like cooking chicken on the barbecue, just a chicken breast. I dice it up a little bit and then flavor it up with a bit of seasoning, and it's the best thing to cook at home.
And what about fish? Do you like fish?
Yeah, so I like just the tuna and olive oil, but I don't mind the occasional bit of salmon, which is really nice, and some sort of flake.
Mm. And what about any other protein like lentils? Have you experienced that?
Yeah, lentils are great. So I like the red beans and
Hmm.
kidney beans. I would cook them with my chicken in the slow cooker,
Mm.
or I would get red lentils or brown lentils, and put those in with the slow cooker because it thickens up, the mix with the chicken, and so that I get a high quality
Hmm.
mix of protein for not much extra cost. Because and that's one thing too that a lot of people don't realize. You can spend a lot of money on eating out junk, or you
Hmm.
could cook your own meals, and it's very cheap. You could make a meal for about $2 to $3, or you could pay $15 to buy it from a takeaway.
Yeah, and that's true. And not to mention what do they put, you don't know. Right?
Exactly.
So at least you know what you're putting in, what you're eating, and that's actually a very good thing. Same thing I do too. I keep my breakfast always same. Um, it you can tweak it a little bit, like add a little kind of different salad to it, or maybe the way you cook your omelette. Sometimes I like those over easies, but I change to omelette or scramble. You can do that. But but still it's still egg is not different.
Yeah.
So tell me about salads. That's one of my favorite talk also. A lot of question I'm asking is because a lot of people ask, okay, we want to do your lifestyle or we want to believe in lifestyle, but give us real tips which you're doing excellent job so far, and also I'm sure people can uh, check your podcast and I'm sure they can find more. So tell me about some salads. What's your experience about, making a good salad which is healthy?
Absolutely. Well, first things first, a lot of people think they have to eat salads all the time
Mhm.
to be healthy. There are plenty of great recipes out there that use vegetables and greens in a different way that doesn't make it a salad, but is still healthy. So if salad isn't your thing,
Yeah.
you can explore different ways to cook and prepare those vegetables in a way that suits your taste buds and the textures that you enjoy. But for me, I experimented a lot with salads. So I would just the first salad I ever tried, I reckon, was just the one out of the packet. The lettuce, you pour that in, and you go, okay, that's okay for a while. And I think
Mhm.
that's everyone's perception of salad is just
Yeah.
iceberg lettuce. That is not salad. That is just shredded lettuce in a bag, and that is it. Then I sort of went to, okay, how can I improve this? What else can I add? So then I went to pineapple in a can. So I put pineapple in with, shredded cabbage, some shredded carrot, uh, capsicum, cut that up. And I go, oh, that was one. But then I found over time, any sort of salad that has a vegetable in it or fruit that contains a lot of liquid is just going to destroy the texture after a few days. It won't maintain its integrity. And so I then sort of introduced grapes for pineapple instead because I wanted that sweetness in my taste buds so that I wouldn't crave sweet things all the time. So I put it into my staple, a sweet food to satisfy my sweet craving. And you can do that with a lot of things. And so I just had a lot of variety. I think that's the key to having a good salad. As much variety as you can, and you can't go wrong. Find what works for you. Even if you make one or two salads and you think, oh, that's not quite for me, take out the vegetables or fruits that you don't like. Just get rid of them and find something different. There are so many different vegetables and fruits at the local supermarkets and the fresh and fruit and veg markets that you can try. But for me, my top three, it has to have roast pumpkin, it has to have red grapes, and it has to have capsicum. If it doesn't have that, it's not as good as what I can make.
Okay, great. And I think I did also when I started to, I search, I love lettuce. So I searched lettuce varieties. So there are also 32 varieties of lettuce. I don't know if people know about.
Wow.
So my favorite was butter lettuce, and then that's very sweet, very soft and sweet. And then of course we have romaine lettuce, and then we have regular lettuce. And then so there are different variety, each has a little different flavor and a taste. So my favorite, of course, for many months was butter, and because it was easy to wrap things in it. You can put some lentils in it and wrap it, or you can put little chicken for lunch and then wrap around. And then so those were your absolutely right, you can do a little bit. But I also noticed, people can experiment with different taste of lettuce too. So that's another thing. So also cucumber, my favorite is cucumbers. Then cucumbers have also different variety. They make these. I don't know if you get which part are you in right now, so I can tell. So I.
We
Uh-huh.
we're in Australia.
Oh,
I'm in Victoria, Melbourne.
oh, Melbourne. Okay, so we have here in US, we have small cucumbers. They're called Persian cucumbers. I don't know if you have those, but they are small, and I keep in my pocket. If I get hungry during day, I eat them actually. And you can experiment. So you can eat cucumber with skin and without. The taste different. There's a different kind of composition which gets your body. Magnesium is more if you eat with skin and without. So you're absolutely right. You can tweak a little bit and changes the flavor, game, everything. So capsicum, yeah, I try that too, and a big fan of that. So as you can imagine, being from Pakistan, love spices.
Mm.
So same thing. So salad. The only advice to everybody I say is, always check the calories too, because the worst thing you can do is make salad 5,000, oh sorry, not 5,000, 500 to 1,000 calorie salads, and they are not called salads anymore. Then the people put bacon, people put all kind of variety of things in it by times. And I'm also puzzled by, sometimes they put fruit, they coat it with so much sugar, yeah, chocolate and 10 other flavors on it, and that is not fruit. That is, fruit is gone, my friend. The fruit is gone. You keep it original, keep it real, like Jake was saying. Have nice flavor, originality to it. Same stands for dressing. I think people put too much dressing and ruins the salad completely. So what's your take on some dressings? Which one is your favorite?
I don't actually use dressings myself. I'm very much a just give it to me plain because I think the combination of the raw ingredients that I have packs such a huge punch. I will say I use flax oil.
Mm,
I use that not as a dressing, but as an additive to give myself a lot more omega 3s, higher in fiber, and a little bit of extra protein. Just
mm,
it's just a great thing to have. It's great for your bowels. I just have raw ingredients, but I can say that with the fact that salad dressings are huge in calories. People don't even look at the packet per 100 ml. If that thing's packing any more than 5 calories, what? Just watch out. You need to be calorie aware of what you're putting into your body. You don't need to count calories per se. If
mm,
that's not your thing, it's not your thing. It's not for everyone. And it's hard. It is tedious. But being aware of what the amount of calories is going into your body based off what packaging it has will help you make a better and a more informed decision. So I recommend if you want to sort of lose a little bit of weight and you are having lots of salads with a lot of dressing, scale back the dressing to sort of a tablespoon and see sort of a little difference there. And maybe even make your own. If you can make
yeah.
your own dressing, you know what's going in. And that's the most important thing. You have control of what you're putting in your body. You don't know what's in all these different containers. What's your experience with that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true. There are hidden calories. So people, what I have same thing is, I'm big fan of natural, keep it original. Personally, I use only lemon or lime. So that is squeeze the lemon or lime, and it has close to 1 or 2 calories. So that is nothing. It very nice flavored, and then you can add always little red chilies or something to kind of give little color or flavor to it if you want. a little bit pepper, salt, whatever. But I don't think you need to go crazy on the you dressing. I think I've seen people put 500 calories of dressing on it, and I said, "Oh my God!" And the other thing I do is add egg whites. Now, egg white, not with yellow, but egg white you can add to your salad. It would not add too much calories, but it does give change the taste a little bit. So that is true for salad. That will be awesome. Like staying with that. So I think tell us also about your exercise. I know you are into fitness. You help people to. What's your advice on somebody who's starting and with the program? What do you recommend to start with?
Brilliant question, Dr. Mobi. So exercise, it's a very vast topic. It's very
Yeah.
broad. That there are so many. If you go to Google and you've punched in exercise for fat loss, you're going to get like a billion results because it's so saturated and there's so much information out there. But how much of it is actually correct and how much is actually right for you? When it comes to exercise, I believe strongly in focusing on what's sustainable. If you're new to exercise, you're not going to start a 4 or 5 day fitness regime because your body's not used to that. You need time to recover early on in your fitness journey. It takes like 3 months to your muscles to adapt and your tendons to adapt enough that it can handle that type of exercise and grow properly. So I would say start with 1 or 2 sessions a week and make sure you can be consistent with that as part of your lifestyle going forward. Because if you find that if you're trying to do 2 sessions a week and you can't get to the gym, you go once a week, you go twice the next week, 3 times the next, two the next, 1, 2, 3, and it just rotates. There's no consistency. You're not going to get consistent results. So whatever you do, the approach should be you need consistency. And I recommend for beginners, never going more than 3 times a week. Weight training is really, really important because it helps with bone density and muscle health. If you build up muscle, you're not going to get big and bulky, but what muscle does is it burns the calories for you. So you burn more energy just by having more muscle mass on you. And increasing strength, we can eliminate things like lower back pain as well. Obviously, consult the appropriate health professional if you have lower back pain or anything like that before starting a program, and don't try and fix that stuff by yourself. But coming back 2 to 3 sessions a week is a really good place to start. Weight training, just a little bit, don't go overboard. And if you don't know where to start from that, you can reach out to myself or a personal trainer in your gym or a fitness professional in the area. Always seek advice from someone who's been where you are or has done it before. Don't be afraid to ask for help in that area because the gyms can be intimidating if you're trying to exercise. If you're trying to do cardio, and your goal is weight loss, you can still do some sort of weight training. But in reality, it's what we put into our body first, and exercise being a secondary tool to assist utilizing energy and building muscle. It always comes down to what you're putting in your body.
Okay, that's great advice. And also, yeah, I always say, personally, I do only mostly is walking, and because it's easy to sustain. That's the game. Do whatever you want, but make same rhythm long term. You don't want to hit the gym and then never show up for 3 months. That's the worst thing ever anybody can. And a lot of people also have this misconception whenever I talk about lifestyle. They say, oh, we have joined the gym. I say, well, that's good, but what about your eating? What about your sleep? Who's going to talk about that? So maybe focus that and then hit the gym once you have stabilized your initial one, right? So,
Uh, yeah, I completely agree. The gym is that's where everybody likes to start because they think they can out train a
mhm,
bad diet. They can out exercise what they're putting into their body. You can really focus on a lot at home leading up to joining a gym. If you're going to join a gym, you can focus on making better choices. You can focus on cooking your own food more. And with
yeah,
organic produce, you can focus on your sleep, trying to get that extra half an hour, getting off your phone a little earlier, and establishing a better circadian rhythm for
mm,
yourself. There's so much you can do with stress management and going for walks in nature to reduce cortisol levels, balancing out your hormones a little bit, taking time for yourself in a way like a hobby, like reading, listening to music. That is super important in a health and fitness journey because you don't want to burn out. You
Mm,
need time for yourself. And if you have that balance, if you're filling up your social cup, your hobby cup, and then your exercise cup, you know, you've got balance across all areas. It's so much easier to create a sustained lifestyle. A lot
mm,
of people tip the scales in favor of they're trying to sacrifice everything else just to do all this exercise, and then the scales end up flipping because they've burnt themselves out because they're getting tired more because they're exercising too much. They're not recovering enough, so they're feeling sore, or they're going one step further and they're hurting themselves because they're doing too much exercise. So whatever you do, you need to find a routine that's easy for you to stick to, and don't try to overcomplicate it by thinking, oh, I've got to do this for 60 years. Just think, do you enjoy doing that exercise? And do you like showing up every week and doing it? Yes, go for it.
okay. Yeah, that's such a sweet and straightforward message. Okay, so any final thoughts you will have for our audience, Jake?
Uh, Keep it simple. Focus on eating good quality foods, lots of vegetables and lots of proteins, okay? Cook it yourself and have a set day every week that you do that. Make time for it and do that every week. Don't miss it. It's a non negotiable. If you cook your own food, it's going to be so much easier for you to stay healthier, lose weight, increase your strength, heart health, for your brain, etc. Exercise, keep it under 2 to 3 sessions a week if you're new, and make sure you can keep doing that for a long period of time. And just focus on trying to get at least 7 to 7.5 hours sleep. Only be 1% better every day. You don't need to change everything in your life. Just a little bit better. What can you do better today than you did slightly yesterday? That would be it.
Great, great message. It was pleasure meeting you and talking to you. Check out his podcast and Redesign Your Body podcast. Great message from Jake. And give us your feedback, Twitter, email, whatever you like. And with that, we say goodbye. Thank you for watching our show. Take care, Jake. Take care. Thank you for
Thank you, Dr. Mobi.
take care. Bye.